Woof woof! Welcome to the doghouse. It's the Rad Dude Cast.
Man, what an unenthusiastic! I've never heard someone come in with the barking, but just
woof woof.
but just over it.
That's a guy that's been doing the same morning radio show for 35 years. Like, honk honk, welcome to Nikki and the Shit Man in the morning.
Yeah, whip them out if you got them, folks. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. A boob's a boob at this point. To
God,
be
this guy fucked my wife, and I still have to work with him.
We're
They've been
paying your
married for
bills
10 years
on the
now.
hour.
Yeah, contracts are contracts, huh, everybody?
Yeah.
$1,000 Thursday. Call in. You get $1,000 on $1,000 Thursday. Whatever you want. Man. Whatever you want. Welcome to the Bone, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, the Bone's the greatest radio station. I don't know if you've ever been on the road before, but man, they got the Bone in every state except this one, and the Bone is the best. Welcome to the Bone. It's free wings and beer at the Bone. They just say free wings and beer. I'm on the radio. What does that mean? Free wings and beer. They go free wings and beer on the Bone. Do I gotta go to the Bone? Where are the free wings? They don't. I swear to God, I'm not being comical. They say free wings and beer on the Bone, and Tita and I almost killed each other in the car trying to figure out what the fuck free wings and beer is on the Bone. Anyway, welcome to the Purge. Welcome to the Purge episode. I'm gonna be talking about the Purge yesterday. So anyway, let's just get into it, boys. As you all know, yesterday was New York's Purge. I know we don't usually talk about it on a podcast. What I'm finding out is, no other states do the Purge. New York is the only state to do it. But also, people that don't live in this state, I found out, don't even know it's happening. People don't know about New York's Purge. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I honestly, I only knew the reason I came back to New York to participate was because I only knew because you texted me. And had you not texted me, it's not on the news here. Nobody's talking about it.
You thought it was canceled because of COVID?
No, it's unknown. It's unknown about outside of New York. And
but you were here for years. You didn't do the Purge last year or the year before?
What? I thought if I'm being honest, I thought your text message said this was the pilot program year, but
no, it's Pilot State. Pilot State.
Oh, Pilot State. Oh, yeah. I guess I missed it then.
What are you doing?
I guess I missed it the last couple of years.
All right, we're gonna move on from you. We're gonna ruin it.
Yeah, man.
These things have gone wrong.
How about you sit there? You think what you did about it? We'll come back to you, and maybe you'll have a legitimate answer, huh?
Man, I broke kayfabe.
I don't know if he's trying to keep. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to keep it secret what he's doing on the Purge every year. But I mean, I've seen him out there. Anyway, I did.
I like that. I've always liked that the Purge is exclusive to New York. It just feels like our thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Like Empire State Building.
Yes, we have the Empire State Building. We have the Yankees. We have pastrami sandwiches.
Pizza.
We've got a 7-hour window where you're allowed to murder.
12.
Yeah, it's 12.
I only take 7. I take 5 to sleep.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Tita let me go out this year, which was like
great. Wow.
Wild.
You've been talking about that for years.
Yeah, she's always keeps it like she's always like, we'll just do minor shit in the house, like we cheat on our taxes, like you just write everything off and all that shit, like we just do little minor things that can happen in the house and we're safe. But anyway, this year she was like,
leave a mean comment on a YouTube video.
Yeah. I think she was because I'm always like, can I fuck on the Purge?
Sure.
Can you cheat?
Yeah.
And she's always like, no, man, man law and government law are different things,
That's
what I mean?
And I love Tita here, but I have to say that's kind of nuts.
What?
That idea of like, I mean, you can murder as long as you're not using, as we all know, we're all familiar with the Purge.
Right.
You're not using above class 4 weaponry.
Yeah, no.
You're not killing a government official that's a rank 10 or higher.
Yeah.
But otherwise, all bets are off. But Tita is not allowing you to sow your goddamn oats.
Right. Go ahead, Brain Man.
I gotta disagree because, and look, and I'm all for cheating. Everyone knows 100%.
Yeah, I got the big cheat man.
100%
cheat.
pro cheating. But
Yeah.
as we know, the Purge is built as an outlet for the citizenry to kind of vent their anger and frustration so that we may live peacefully for the rest of the year. And it's built on the premise that all laws are suspended, right? But
Sure.
that has nothing to do with the consequences of your action. Like cheating is never against the law. all year long. It's legal, but your
Yes.
wife's still going to be mad at you. So I think this is purge aside. This is unpurge related, the cheating deal. You know what I mean? Like she's, it's legal the whole time, but she's still going to be mad at you. So if you want to propose a different day, you can't be mad at me day, then that could be a thing. But I got to actually side with Tita on this as much as I want you out there fucking. And I do. I got to side with her on this. I think it's unpurge related.
To your point exactly, Tita's brother went out for a purge, because I'm not really. He went out for a purge a few years ago and murdered Tita's other brother's wife. Like for the he was like, fuck it, he murdered his wife. Let me tell you, man, Easter has been weird, and we keep being like, dude, it was. He just keeps saying it was legal. It's my God. It's my government given right. It's my government given right. I'm allowed to purge. But it's like, yeah, man, you still killed this guy's wife, and we all have to sit here and eat with you. It's a little. Even wear a mask. Wear, like if you're gonna purge someone in the family, don't make it known. It's gonna be awkward. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's one of the difficulties with the purge. I find is that there are no. It'd be nice, and I know they're running the pilot program in New York, have been for several years. I was lying earlier because I've done some pretty fucked up things.
We're coming hot off the purge, your body's full of doing wrong things.
But
understandable, Brendan.
If I could suggest one thing to Cuomo, who's luckily for him level 11, but I would say add a thing about no laws, also cannot carry on emotional grudges for any purge behavior throughout the remainder of the year. That could really smooth things over for a lot of personal crimes.
Like a blue law, like a blue law. How they have blue laws that are like, no malls are open on Sunday in Paramus. It's like it's
you
not
can't
like
buy liquor in Connecticut on a Sunday.
It's like a blue law. Don't hold some shit against your family. If they do. Fair is fair. I also feel weird about him too. I'm like, you shouldn't have done that. But I get it. It's your government given right. But
they got to run more commercials. I find that's the problem. Like Vegas is great about being like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but the purge doesn't do itself any favors in its marketing campaign by really having none. So I think if they kind of treated it more like a trip to Sin City, then I think more people would be like, yeah, whatever. It was during a purge,
Yeah,
sure, I slit my neighbor's throat, but I also played blackjack for a weekend.
Yeah, it's my government given right.
The same thing, yeah.
Which, side note on that whole Vegas marketing campaign, they're talking about sex stuff, and they want you to think like, oh, what happens in Vegas stayed in Vegas. Well, you wouldn't need it to stay in Vegas if it was like, I played a little blackjack and saw Penn and Teller, like they're clearly talking about come to Vegas, get a prostitute.
Yeah.
That's what that ad campaign is saying.
Yeah.
Should be noted, prostitutes aren't legal prostitutes aren't legal in Vegas.
Well, you drive out about an hour to go to the Bunny Ranch and you're all set up.
So I've heard. Well, the irony too being that it doesn't stay. You know what I mean? Like it very much follows you for weeks on end until you get medicine from a doctor and they clear your genital area.
Similar to the purge. You get your arm cut off in the purge, your arm is still off the next day.
Yeah, doesn't. Yeah, your arm doesn't know that it was a purge. Your arm just it's gone. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. So I want to tell you guys about my last night. It was my first time really going out, which was kind of like crazy because she was into it, man. Tita said you could do what you want, go out, just don't bring it, like I don't want to hear about it, but have at it. So go ahead.
I don't want to be this kind of journalist that is an ambush journalist, but I don't want to put thoughts in your head. Is there any possibility that you're not being allowed to do it previous years, but Tita allowing you to do it this year? Did you have any suspicions off the bat that possibly Tita was hoping some ill would befall you?
I don't think so. I think that
Okay.
it was mostly just because of the quarantine and how
Got
like
it.
pent up
Good.
we've
Great.
been, and COVID's
Great.
been like so. She was like, "Go out, have fun, do your thing," and like we've been talking about it. She's like, "The government does it for a reason, like there's a reason they're doing it. People need to do this kind of stuff." And I always let her go out. She goes out almost all of the time.
Oh,
but
yeah,
she kind of just
Tita-
doesn't want me going out.
Yeah, I've crossed paths with Tita some years, and there's a bloodlust on her lips that is it's, sexual. There's a lot of power there.
Yeah, her white face paint with the upside down cross. It's very crazy.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw her, I thought she was Gangrel.
Yeah, she's covered in blood almost immediately. Like, I don't know, it's like the
Soaked.
bell just
Yes.
went off. How are you already blood soaked?
Very much like a Ric Flair Sting match.
Yeah. She uses nunchucks, which I think is racist, but I'm like, come on, man, don't do that shit. But she's like, she just loves that. She loves a nunchuck. She loves any kind of blade. She says she likes to feel it. She likes to feel it, but she doesn't let me go out. I honestly always thought it was because she was afraid what might happen to me from her. But anyway, Brendan, you got a quest?
Well, I was just going to say, Tita is uniquely prepared for the purge in that. Now I know she was born in America, but well, I don't know that, but I know she was raised in America. But she's deeply steeped in the Thai culture, and historically, it's kind of 2/3 of a purge every day in Thailand. You know what I mean? There are laws, but they're loose. They're very loose. You get yourself about 10,000 baht, and you can buy your way out of anything in that place.
Yeah, I tell you this: if you ever eaten pad thai from a streetcar in Bangkok, you've purged.
Hey, so last night I go out and I'm like excited, and I had been like, she had told me a few weeks ago that it was cool. So I had pretty much just been like watching this lady on the street, just to like size her up, see where she lives, follow her. And just so you know, I went after this person, not because she was a woman, but because she was smaller and weaker. Women are generally going to be smaller than you. And I wasn't 100% sold on whether or not what I was going to do with her. I was like, am I going to kill her? Am I going to murder her? I'm not really. Even like that. Even during the purge, I feel like rape is weird. Like I don't know if that makes me weird, but I'm like,
that's right. That's the right answer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the purge, but I still don't know how I feel about rape. You know what I mean? But anyway,
not even on the purge,
right? But I'm open to the ideas. It's the purge.
Sure.
Let the purge take me. So anyway, I loosen up her windows because I had previously unloosened the screws on her windowsill. So I pull the window out, go into the house. Pretty exciting. She's there and screaming, right? And I gotta be honest, you think like as a normal guy who doesn't purge, you're like, it's gonna like, how's this gonna affect me? Like, I'm open to it. So I'm like the screaming. I go, this is kind of exciting. Like it's kind of like, what am I going to do here? Right. So anyway, she's screaming and I'm like, I just keep telling her the mantra. It's my government given right. It's my government given right. I get to do this as for the government, she starts screaming. And then behind her, there's like a little kid. And I go, who's that? Right. And then she was like, no, please leave him out of this. No, please. And she hides her, like, is she like a son? She could put on. And I'm like, I can see him. Like, you're not, nothing here is going to help you. And then I'm like, all right, let's have some fun with this, right? So I pull out my, I have a chainsaw. Like I start shaking it, like, and she's like screaming, and I'm like, and going nuts. And she says, please, what can I do? And I go, I say, pray to God, ask God for forgiveness, because maybe it's fun to be religious, like let God tell you. And she goes, I don't believe in God. And then I was like, whoa, me neither. And she was like, yeah, it's a bullshit. I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, are you a Sam Harris guy? And she was like, well, I'm a Sam Harris girl. And I was like, she looks over, she has a Christopher Hitchens book signed. And I was like, I fucking love Christopher Hitchens. So then we just start getting into it about like God and religion and race and Black Lives Matter, all this stuff, right? And her son is crying. And I'm just like, dude, relax. What's up, Anthony?
I was gonna say, it sounds worse than being killed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She was into it, right? We're just having this great conversation, and then at about, I think it was like about 3:30 a.m. I go, all right, time to start purging. The alarm goes off. Purge is over, And I go,
Man.
listen, yeah, I didn't, and it was like, you know what? I kind of felt good. I was like, nothing happened. I didn't get to murder her. I didn't get to really do it. And she was like, she asked me, she's like, can I have your number? It was like really great. Hang out with you. And then I was like, well, I'm married. And she was like, well, no one's married on the Purge. So next year I have a date with this girl. Because I came home and I told Tita, I was like, Tita, I met this girl. She was great. And she was like, well, as long as you only do it on the Purge, it's fine. So Tita's kind of come along with the idea of cheating on the Purge.
So she's changed her stance.
Yeah. And I met this. Yeah, something happened to Tita last night. She came home like real fucked up. She's got no toes anymore. I don't know. I can't wait to find out what happened.
That affects your balance, because I knew a guy that happened who couldn't walk straight anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like someone gnawed them off too, which is like, but she's alive, so she won. I'm just waiting for her to. She goes crazy. She's like, we don't have to talk about what happened on the Purge. But I came home and immediately was like, I met a girl. She was great.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course
so
you would do that.
Here's my fears. I have some fears.
Yeah.
Tell everybody everything that happened. Everybody else is ashamed of what they've done. A dark kept secret for years. And Greg's like, you're not going to believe what happened to me back there.
I think I fell in love.
Yeah, this guy fell in love with the Purge, man. What a lunatic. That's crazier than anything, I think.
Well, some people, I walked out with a friend at least.
Well, I have some fears here. I would like to bring them up. As you said, I think what you found is a soulmate, unfortunately, and Tita, who is the most wonderful woman.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be problems now because of the Purge. You went out and you meant to do a chainsaw massacre, and I'm not here to critique anyone's Purge.
Sure.
Sounds like there's a critique coming up, by the way.
Well, I do think the safer play would have been to chainsaw them to death immediately rather than find out it is an attractive woman that shares all of your interests, that is interested in you. Because that now you are in a dangerous spot where you got to wait a whole year. Can you do that? You know where she lives. You could today go over and ring the doorbell and say, "Hey, we're just friends. Let's go get coffee. Talk about Hitchens. Maybe watch a best of Hitch slapped videos."
I love those.
And this could be a problem, Greg. This could be a problem.
She works at the pizza shop too, where we get pizza.
Oh God.
So I think she might own it now. I found out. I was like, I didn't know. She kind of mentioned it. I was like, oh, you own it? I thought you just worked there. And she was like, no, I own it. I'm like, wow, good for you. You're young. How do you buy a pizza shop? It's so young. It works hard. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, but I can wait a year. Also, maybe it's not sexual. Maybe it's not a sexual relationship. Maybe we're just friends. That's fine too. I don't know. Her kid is cool. Her kid. I will be honest, is going to take some time to win over because he's. I saw him this morning. He was still weird.
Sure. He first saw you. You came through his window during the Purge with a chainsaw.
Yeah, naked.
Naked, hoping to kill his mother. I'm sure he's going to take some time to warm up to you. Well, I mean, I don't know. Just don't go back to that pizza place. Go to a different pizza place.
But the best, Astoria's got like 3 good pizza places. That's like one of the best ones.
I know. I get that, but it's like a small sacrifice for the potential damage you could do in your marriage.
Yeah.
By continually seeing this woman.
And if I could kind of, and I hate to be sort of a Debbie Downer, but if I could bring up a counterpoint to your assertion that it might end up being just a non-sexual friendship.
Yeah, I think good.
Yeah, I mean, you fucked a pocket pussy in between 2 bins. So I don't think the odds of you having a non-sexual friendship with a hot lady with all of your interests are good.
Well, I will be honest. She's not. That's the one thing I'm lucky about is I'm not that attracted to her. It looks like some other purges have done some shit to her. She does have a hook. She's missing an eye, which I think is kind of cute. So, she's got a big scar down her chest. I thought it was some heart surgery, but she said someone tried to fillet her one year. I was like, Jesus. So,
guilty. Probably. I don't know. There's been so many. It's tough to say. Tough to pin them all down,
I will say morally.
I mean, literally tough to pin them down.
Yeah. I will say morally, despite the fact that I do think this could present problems for you going forward, I think morally you triumphed. You did the right thing. I always have been a purge guy that says you kill those that deserve it. You don't use it just to get your kicks out. And so you went there to do a random crime, which is fine because that's what the purge is for. And you thought you were doing your government duty. But when you got there, your morality triumphed and you realized, you know what? This woman doesn't deserve to die, nor does her kid.
That's not really, I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't the morality thing. It was, one, I was having a great time talking to her about religion. And then two, just ran out of time. I talked so much that literally I just talked right until the bell went for the purge. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I should have, maybe if I had just listened for a little bit, I would have got it in.
Wow.
Did you do
two more perfect things to happen to Greg on the purge? She talked so much that he forgot about purging, and then he ended up falling in love.
My murder speech is so long that
if this the only thing, if you guys exchanged action figures, would be the only only thing that could make this a perfect Greg story. But
I know.
Did you leave at least on a cool phrase like you could have said, "Hey, are you Zach Morris? Because you just got saved by the bell," and then jump out the window and get on your way.
No, it ended with me going for a hug and her going, I don't know about COVID, and I went right, but let's quarantine. And then like it was like a weird elbow. I gave like a weird elbow bump, out. Sure. We elbow bumped out, and then but she was like, next year she'll, if God forbid, I'm sure COVID will be over. She said, if we hug in a few days, she just wants to wait until at least 10 days after the purge before she's touching people or taking masks off, which is that makes so much sense.
Sure.
Anthony, just you hinted on something. Did you go out last night?
I didn't go out because I am afraid of coronavirus, so I did not go out. And I go ham on the purge, and everybody knows that. Like I'm one of the top scorers in the state. But no, I exclusively kill men because of my feminist views.
Sure. Of course.
So I actually set up shop in-house, and I hired. I used most of my salary from comedy, devoted to two ex police officers from Staten Island, Allentown, and Samsonite, and I hired them as bodyguards. Obviously, that's not their real names, but of course, I can't say their real names.
Yeah, you call them you call this guy Allentown.
Yeah, well, I call him Allentown. That's his favorite Billy Joel song, and the other guy is Samsonite because that's his favorite. His favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber. So they posted up, and they live by a code of ethics, so they promised not to harm me, and obviously I pay them very well to not do that. So there we go.
Quick question: do you pay them? Because I always thought, do you pay them before or after? Because if you pay them before, you run the risk of them turning on you. If you pay them after, they run the risk of you dying and them not getting paid.
Well, I do. Yeah, I do a deposit. That's how we do it. We do like
a comedy club.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do a deposit. I don't want to disclose the amount of money, but it's a large sum of money. It's quite a bit of money.
Sure.
And so I set up a website about 6 months ago. Once I found out the coronavirus was how devastating it was, the first thought that ran through my head was, I'm not going to be allowed to purge at the level that I like to. So I set up Anthony's Death Smoothies, which are just your basic cyanide smoothie, and I got like 5 people that came to my house. I fed them a smoothie. I played their favorite music as they died slowly in my kitchen.
So wait. These are suicide smoothies? Like these are people who want to die?
These are people.
So you're like a euthanasia type. You're like a Dr. Kevorkian.
Yeah, kind of. Because I was like, look, you can take your chances. You can be killed out there in the streets, or you can die in your own hands in the comforts of my home. I'll put on your favorite song. And it's one person at a time so that nobody gets to the virus.
What's the lighting like?
According to them, honestly. Like I have it set, and then I have it set with 7 specific candles. I have lavender, I have sage, I have lilac, I have rosemary, I have beach green, and then I have tobacco, and then I have peyote. So those are the 7 senses.
And if I could ask, you mentioned one at a time for virus reasons. Are these people who are about to drink a cyanide smoothie? Are they concerned with the coronavirus still? Is that an issue for them?
Yeah, well, it's an issue of ego. That's really what it is.
right,
They
right.
want to die at their own hands. They don't want to die from the virus.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's
Which
just,
doesn't attack immediately.
Yeah, but they don't. What they don't want, I guess, their kinfolk seeing the autopsy report and being like, he was one of the masses.
Because it's
died.
Cuomo.
Yeah,
everyone knows if you have COVID, Cuomo, even if it's a purge, Cuomo is going to be like, these are all coronavirus victims.
Yes.
It's like, no, this guy was murdered. Yeah, but he had COVID on him. It's like, yeah, no, man, these are purge victims. Okay.
Yeah, they don't exactly. They don't want to conflate the numbers.
They're going to conflate the numbers, of course.
So,
we know that's going to happen.
So yeah. So ahead of time, they tell me the fruits and whatever they want in the smoothie, and then I make them the smoothie, and then they just make sure that I record their last words. That's their big thing.
2 questions. One, how did you get your hands on the cyanide?
Very easy. That actually, pretty fortunate that Samsonite has cyanide.
Oh, great.
Oh, right. He just keeps that with him.
Easy.
Well, I think he did a big cyanide bust in the 80s, and then he's had bags of
a bunch of samurais.
Yeah, there's a big. I guess I don't know. The 80s were such a wild time in New York that I guess someone he busted a shipload of cyanide from the Philippines, and he kept some, just in case. I didn't really go in too deep with him as to why he had so much cyanide. To be honest, I was just so happy he had it.
Sure. I will say that was the one thing about this purge, that like they got rid of all the laws except for, of course, no attacking anyone above level 10,
government officials, of course.
Government officials, no level 4 weapons, which I didn't realize flamethrower is a level 4. I was like, of course you can. I've been telling people you can use flamethrowers forever. Like, no, that's a level 4 weapon. I didn't know that.
Well, what I hate to cut you off there, but correct me if I'm wrong. I wrote in to my local authorities and let me know what you say this, because I was wondering if homemade flamethrowers are level 4 or is it only 4. Military grade? Really? No. A homemade is level 5.
But a Molotov cocktail isn't. Okay. It's like, well, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's that about?
Like it's hairspray and a lighter. Is that level 4? Technically it is, but that's bullshit. Right. They really got to go through they're such hypocrites, you know?
That's a great point. I'll bring it up to the board. I will.
If you could.
Of course. That's the reason why I'm on there.
I am excited that the NFL season is back and winning season has returned at my bookie, Anthony. Winning season means doubling your first deposit. Winning season means Survivor, Super Contests, and Squares. At my bookie, winning season means hitting all your parlays and props with your feet up, watching your team trounce their rivals. Who would you like to trounce, Anthony?
No, I'll tell you who I like to parlay.
Greg, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead because I parlayed with someone yesterday. They broke into my house with a knife, and I had a knife. And we said, ooh, this is going to be equal war. And it said, how about we do a little parlay? And we parlayed, and then he went out the window, and I stabbed him in the back. Couldn't bet on that. You bet on that, my bookie? I'll stab you in the back.
I think parlay means talk, but rejoice. It's time to celebrate the NFL season. Now, Anthony, how do you celebrate the NFL season?
I go to a hot spring and I sit there for the entirety of the season.
You don't get all wrinkly. That is great. So invest in your intuition. Use promo code DUDECAST. That's DUDECAST and double your first deposit. New players get up to $1,000 in free play designed to add more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet.
I got a hot bet for you.
Yeah, give it to me, baby.
If I'm in that hot spring with Anthony, is my hand going to go under the water and see if he can find a little dragon? I want to find the little dragon.
It's simple. Make your picks.
The over and under on that.
Win big. Collect your cash. Use promo code DUDECAST. That's DUDECAST. That ensures we get the credit. Plus, you get your bonus. You get your double your first deposit. So your winning season begins today. Only at MyBookie.
But the thing that was wild to me, we're gonna get to that. But just the thing that was wild to me this year was, yes, we were getting rid of all those laws except those, but you still had to follow the CDC guidelines this purge, which makes sense. You know, people are gonna get, and so that's my question to you is, Anthony, was Samsonite and Valentine? I mean, did you, because you're doing a whole business type setup.
Sure.
Did you follow to the? Be honest.
Oh,
great
question.
question.
One person in at a time. We we all had face shields on. We had masks underneath. We have an HVAC system which pumps
bought the
cool
HVAC.
air.
You bought. Wow. Wow, man.
I mean, you know, I'm trying to be as safe as possible. You know,
I'm not a cyanide room. Yes.
Yeah.
For the cyanide smoothie room, you got to be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking out for myself. I'm looking out for Julia. I'm looking out for my mom. You know, like I'm trying to do shows.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just
right.
trying not to get this thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am trying to, you know, fulfill my government citizen duties to purge.
Yes. Your government given right.
I did everything that I could.
So one other question. I mean, I have so many questions, but I want to get into Brendan's experience as well, because this is his first year not here.
Yeah.
He said, anyway, I know Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't want me to bring up Julia on the podcast, but she's a little neurotic about Corona. With you having these people in, how was she reacting? Was she like just spinning in circles the whole time?
No, I inoculated her. She slept like a rock.
Inoculated her.
Inoculated. Not what that means. Certainly not what that means.
Inoculated, but I understand the way that word is. I completely see what you inoculated her.
Yeah.
You have one of those,
total inoculation.
It actually, that's a word that should mean what you just used it to mean. It does not mean that, but it should, by all sounds of the word.
Yeah, well, I may be using the Latin version of it.
Probably.
What does inoculate mean to you, Brendan?
I believe inoculation is, you know, you get your shots. It's similar to vaccination. Inoculation is, I'll look it up, but it's not knocking someone out. That's for sure.
Well, see, I'm using the Latin where it has a K in it, where it is inoculate, as in knock you out. Yeah.
Knock your ass on the floor.
So, you know, whereas Samsonite is a cyanide guy, Allentown is a laughing gas man.
Right.
Just because his wife is a dentist, so he has a good slew of laughing gas. So I just did that, and she was out cold for the whole time. So she doesn't really know what happened, I guess.
That's fun. It's usually knocking your wife out is illegal, or girlfriend out is illegal, but not on purge.
Yeah, I think
she's probably not gonna be mad about it, right?
I'm getting some glares right now as she's I guess I spoke a little too loudly about it, but that's my own thing to deal with. That's not for you guys.
That's purge after stuff.
Yeah, that's after purge, you know, couples therapy stuff.
Mike just wrote in the text that inoculation does mean to vaccinate.
Vaccinated
but
from being
the
awake.
Latin version, you vaccinated her from being awake. Exactly. Exactly.
So, and guys, you know, if you have more you want to, Anthony, anything else you want to, how does that went well, or
it went great, man. Everything went smooth. The cyanide sleeps went off without a hitch, and later on I'll tell you.
That's what I wanted to ask you. What do you do with the bodies?
We just burn them in the backyard in the outdoor space.
Oh, nice. Are they still go? I mean, how many did you get? How many people did you end up putting down?
Let me look at my list.
And that's, Greg, that's where I don't like, and this is another thing, Anthony. Five. Okay, nice. This is another thing, Anthony. Go ahead, Greg.
I'm just saying 5 seems like a number that you could easily manage to remember.
It does seem that way, absolutely.
Going through his documents on a handful.
No problem with keeping books, but this is a thing that if you could,
make sure it was accurate.
If you could bring up to the board, Anthony, and
go ahead.
It's a real inaccuracy in the Purge movies.
Sure.
You know, in the movies, they have the morning cleanup crews that get the bodies, and for those of you that are in different states, it's not like that. It's pick up after your own dog type rules. You know, you gotta, whatever you do, you're responsible for digging those graves, whatever. It can be a real pain.
We were hoping this year that they would. I remember last year there were talks about starting that cleanup crew, but especially now the government doesn't have any fucking money. You know what I mean? There's no like, I'm barely getting garbage picked up. They're not doing a body blast or a body cleanup and all that.
You think I'm not first on the list of volunteers to be on that fucking duty? I'll be stealing rings left and right.
Yeah, dude, it would be good money. You know, if you think about how much garbage men make, you're
Yeah,
cleaning up bodies like a John Wick movie.
yeah.
You're gonna make a lot. It's gonna be good money.
It's good coin. Yeah, it's good coin. Yeah.
B-Man, how was your? So what did you do last night? Did you come back?
God.
Did you stay?
Well, here after hearing about both your guys' successful purges, I almost don't want to talk about mine because it was such a bust.
Really?
Yeah, it's embarrassing. First, let me get back to one thing that is really funny because Anthony was talking about Samsonite in Allentown, and my dad told me a story last night. No, not last night because I was purging, but last week.
Sure.
A former colleague of his, as a young assistant DA, was working on the John Gotti case, and he was very young. He was like the 5th assistant. He really didn't do much, but Sammy the Bull Gravano, when he was going into witness protection, you like have some say in your name, you know, and he goes, how about Sammy Bull? So he thought just taking the out would be fine.
That's so funny.
And they were like, nah, you're gonna have to change that a little bit. But anyway, so of course,
hang on, before you, I get to see a bartender who's like, sorry, buddy, I gotta check ID. Everybody over under 40 takes the ID. I go, is this Sammy the Bull? That's not Sammy the Bull. That's Sammy Bull. That's not Sammy the Bull. That's Sammy Bull. Real Bull was a nickname.
Yeah.
This guy's actual name is Bull.
Well, you're not gonna believe this, Pat. You look just like him.
Yeah.
What a weird name to have and look just like that guy.
You know, what happened to me was a classic failure of purge research, and it, you know, it's a lesson to be learned. I came back to New York specifically for the purge. I got a nice little Airbnb. It was good. Amy stayed here. I went, and of course, as you guys know, as has been my purge kind of way, I'm a knife man.
Of course.
I think guns are pedestrian. I think anyone can do guns, and I respect that
about
Tita, where Tita's out there, nunchucks, hand to hand. You know, you're doing chainsaws, all that stuff. I think you do a gun on the purge. Fine, if you're going against some sort of heavily fortified fortress, fine. But otherwise, you know, keep it visceral, keep it brutal. So I go knives. I have one example. I have my Winchester here with me. My Winchester Bowie knife. This was one I took out. I had 4 on me, strapped to my chest. I of course also had my illegal police issued billy club. Now,
before you move on, I just want to say about the knives thing. This is the thing Tita does. I think you might enjoy doing. It does take a little bit of preparation. Tita does a thing where she grows her fingernails out real long and sharpens them and uses them as like puts them into your chest.
Well, here's the thing. I went to, because Ohio, things are more open than in New York, right? So I went to a body modification place, where they do, you know, like belly button rings, and they're even doing like those kind of like gauge earrings, you know. And I go, what's it going to take to get sharpened knife fingernails? And the guy said, we don't know how to do that. And I said, well, this is a horseshit store. And I left. But I said, this is a fucking horseshit store. And you know what? The purge is going to come to Ohio. And if you were on the front line of that business, you'd be a rich man. But go fuck yourself, you know? Also, I'll be back next Tuesday for another tattoo. But that's a different story. So I come back to New York, and
just
to get my timeline, did you drive during the purge, or did you drive here before it started?
No. Yeah, okay. I don't have my car outfitted. I have in years past. Mad Max styled my car. But The motor purge is a whole different ball game. That is, it requires a whole different level of preparation. You've got to get sort of blades that come out from your tires. You've got to armor fortify your car. It's a whole different thing. If you want to, I would say that to any listener, you've got to choose.
Yeah.
Don't think you're going to be doing a motor purge style, like a demolition derby death race style purge, and a killing purge. It's one or the other, because there's too much preparation for 12 hours. There's just too much.
Sorry.
Go ahead, please.
If you are understand too that as a guy who loves the purge, if you're doing the motor purge, you need to wear the outfit. Okay. If you have like a 50s style car, you have to wear a suit. If anything else, half naked in leather. If you're doing Mad Max, you need to commit, or what are you doing? Dude, I saw a guy in a New Jersey Devils jersey on a fucking moped with flames coming out of it. It's like the one little step makes all the difference. You know, be a leather man.
Yes.
Anyway, that's it.
And no, that's not it. Because here's the thing. A lot of those guys have problems. They go, well, I'll get some motorcycle gear. I'll cut it up a little bit. Too much money. Go down to Christopher Street. You're going to feel weird.
Right. Yeah.
Go down to Christopher Street in the Village. Go to a Leather Daddy store. They've got everything you need already cut up. The ass is already out of those pants. There's no problem.
What's gay and fun on a Tuesday is horrifying on the purge.
Absolutely.
You know, what's like, a little kinky on a Wednesday, ball gag. You see a guy coming at you with a ball gag, you don't get hard. You get fast. You run. It's horrifying on the purge.
So my situation was actually, in fact, a little similar to yours, Greg, but yours was not such a failure and a lack of preparation. So what do I care about the most in life? That's the success of the Rad Dude Cast. Okay. Right. So what is my goal going to be during the purge? That's simple. I'm going to take out Joe Rogan. He's our competition. He's the top. I get a phone book. I go through the phone book. It's hard to get your hands on a phone book these days. I found Joseph Rogan. He lives in Long Island. So I go, this is crazy.
Well,
lives in Long Island.
I already see some mistakes here.
Yeah, well, I know. And in hindsight's 2020. Yeah. And I drive out there.
Body's a body to me, man.
It turns out the Joe Rogan I was looking for lives in California. Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. This was Joseph Rogan.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea. I had no idea.
So hard to believe.
I know.
I had no idea whatsoever.
A purge mind gets you crazy anyway. You know, you're like, he's in Long Island. It's like,
I get
purge mind. I'm with it.
I kick down the door.
Right.
And I'm faced with what I think must be Joe Rogan's father. I say, where's your son? He goes, I don't have a son. I have 3 daughters. They live in Pennsylvania. I go, wait a second. Who are you? He goes, I'm Joe Rogan. I go, what? He goes, yeah, Joseph Rogan. It turns out it's Joseph Rogan, 86-year-old retired HVAC guy, sweetest man.
Yeah.
And I just go, well, I came here with the purpose, but I'm not going to kill this guy because I screwed up. This is on me. You know, this is not
your government given right. It's still your government given right.
Absolutely. I could have killed him. No problem. And in fact, don't worry. I did a crime. We got to talking because this guy was fascinating. He fought in Korea. He after Korea, he became anti-war Vietnam protest. Just a fascinating life. Wonderful man. His wife, Millicent, had passed away. But 3 years ago. So of course he's just a lonely widower. We had a wonderful talk. He offered me a beer. I don't drink anymore. I had a nice cup of coffee, and just a wonderful talk. Learned a lot, similar to your situation, Greg, except I've got egg all over my face because I'm looking to kill Joe Rogan. Gets down to, we got about 20 minutes ago. I go, look, Joe, I like you. You're a good man. But the purge is the purge. And I must commit a crime. So what I did, I stole for quite some time. He worked for John Weidman and Sons fuel oil out of Ephrata, PA. And I stole this mug from his house. On the back, it's got heating, cooling, fuel oil, and gasoline. So it's a fun little mug. I stole it, so that's a crime. So I did my government-given duty. I stole this mug. I think it's a neat little mug. He said, you know, it was a little sad because he said, my wife bought me that mug when I retired. That's an important mug to me. I said, well, this is the purge. You got to take something that means something. And I said, you know what, Joe? I'll be back next year. I'll give it back. And then we'll do a different crime together. And so what started off as really a bum deal, a dud of a purge because of my own failure to research, ended up being kind of similar to your situation, Greg, sort of a lifelong friendship, which, you know, he's 86, he smokes. It's not going to be long, but, you know, good guy. Shout out to Joseph Rogan out there on Long Island. If you're listening.
Where in Long Island?
Well, I don't know any city names. So if you throw some out, I might be able to tell you. You know any city names in Long Island?
Levittown, Bohemia.
He was from Levittown. Yes, it was Levittown. Fuck, yes, that's crazy. First guess.
Oh man, nice. So I also want to make it clear. I didn't kill that lady, but I killed a bunch of people on the way to her house. But
good, great.
Yeah, man. When you got to test the chainsaw and people are running through the street, I was just like hacking heads off. And, you know, I don't really care who you are. If you're out there, government given right. But I have a question. See, here's the thing that I know that they've been talking about a lot in the news. I just want to get your thoughts on it. I hate to get political, but maybe you guys can. So a few years ago, I wasn't allowed to leave the house for the purge. So what I did was I mailed someone ricin in the mail. Anyway, gets back to me. It killed like a whole family. Just went out. It killed like a whole fucking family. But it killed them like 2 days after because of course the post office is a delay, and other states, you know, they're not in the purge. But I mailed it on the purge and from a purge. So should I be faced with, you know, a murder because a
hotly debated topic since the purge has been out.
Yeah.
What I say to this, and Anthony does serve on the board, which I would like to get into.
We gotta talk about I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it's my first year as a member.
It's funny the things he doesn't tell you, but
a lot.
Yeah. My take on it is this, Greg. What was the crime?
They're trying to get me with murder.
Yes, but to me, the crime that was committed was packing an envelope with a deadly substance and sending it. That was the crime. Everything else was the result of that crime. The crime itself happened during the purge in New York. The effects of that can be wherever they can be. I don't care, you know. So I say to you, you are innocent, my friend. You purged properly, as is your government given right. Dare I say, duty.
This is the defense.
Yes.
Go ahead, Anthony.
According to the board, Brendan is right. Technically speaking, well, first of all, it needs to be post-dated during the purge. So if it was, you're fine. And the second thing is the rest of the country is well aware of the purge happening in New York. So if you get something, an envelope, a package, anything from New York that's post-dated with the date of the purge, you are no longer legally responsible. That's in their hands now. This is what the board has come to this year.
Right. But the board, I don't know if they have legal precedent over the federal government, because the federal government's argument is that it's like marijuana. Marijuana is legal in California, but you're not allowed to mail marijuana to other states because the federal government follows federal law, whereas the purge is following, I guess, local law, state law. What's that?
Yeah. Well, the purge follows along the lines of state laws.
Yeah.
But since it is a New York state law, the rest of the country needs to adhere to the New York state law. So it falls under the jurisdiction of a singular state, even though it is technically a federal issue.
I'm a little upset we didn't do an entire podcast on the legalities of the purge and the purge. That's what people who love the purge want to hear. The laws, the ins and outs.
Well, again, that's
I
what
would love to.
that's what they leave out of the movie. There's
Yeah.
a lot of bureaucracy involved. There's a lot of technicalities.
Oh my God, you have no idea. These
Yeah.
meetings are endless.
Where are you? Tell us everything you can about the meetings.
All right, the
And how
meetings.
did you get involved?
Well, I got involved in the people. I guess had heard about the numbers I was racking up and my enthusiasm for the purge.
Yeah,
And well, this year 5, but I mean, this is the slowest year to date for me. And I was very active on Reddit threads about it. So I gained some notoriety, and as is with the purge, a lot, people die. So members of the board, you lose a lot of members every year. So, at some point I was just nominated, and I've claimed my position as a junior senator inside the purge. We meet. Well, obviously we can't meet in person because of the virus. So we meet over Zoom twice a week and just talk purge stuff.
I also have a bone to pick with you, Anthony. I'm sorry if I do have a bone to pick with you. And I want to say this, and look, maybe it's going to sound shitty or whatever, but you may constantly make this case of you're a feminist, you don't murder people, you don't murder women on the purge.
Yeah.
I would argue that that's anti-feminist. I think a true feminist is going to treat women equally and know that, sure, strength might not be a thing, but look at Tita. She's got the sharpened fingernails. She's got these katanas. She's got stealth. I think women are just as good at purging as men. It's like I've said it once, I've said it a million times. It's barbarians and wizards. Okay, barbarians are strong. Us men, you can use your power. But a well-planned woman, as Tita has taught me, is just as effective in the purge. And I think that it's not necessarily feminist what you're doing.
Well, I disagree with you.
Hard to pick a side on this issue. Both brought up two fantastically argued points.
What can you say?
Now, one thing
you don't have to get political. I get it.
One thing.
I kind of can't.
Yeah.
One
thing I would like to kind of throw out there for our listeners.
Yeah.
If you're
wait, I'm sorry, Brendan. Right before you move on, I just want that Anthony said he can't. Why? Because his real life girlfriend is watching, and he can't take. Is that because you can't take a stance on why not to murder women in the purge?
Well, that's a layered answer, Greg. If I'm being honest, some parts some parts my own moral objections, and other parts just actual legality issues with my standing at the board.
Oh, sorry. Right. Sorry, standing on the board.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brett. I didn't cut you off, Brendan. I just wanted to.
No, not at all.
I mean, look, man, it's 2020, and we're trying to push ahead diversity and things like that at the purge. So for me to take what you're saying into account, which I thought was a well thought out argument, there would be financial implications to my life, and at this point I can't make those happen.
Sorry, Brendan. Sorry to cut you off one more time, but he just brought up a point that needs to be tapped on. Diversity in the purge. Is it, if you're murdering people, do you want to make sure you're murdering a white, black person, an Asian person, or are people like, no, kill all the white people? Because I feel like diversity for diversity, and then when the purge comes, everyone's like, who cares? What is the standings on diversity in murders in the purge?
We're trying to push for more diversity. So we're not saying it, and no, I'm already in hot water. I've already said too much.
Yeah, I know.
I think you get where I'm going with this. Brendan, you were saying something.
No, I'd like you to finish your thought.
I'd rather not, as I'd like to.
What I was going to say is, here's the thing. For any of you guys listening that are in New York or thinking of coming to New York for the purge, as you can see, the key to a good purge is planning and having a goal. You can't just go out there willy-nilly and think you're going to have a great purge. Okay.
Right.
For instance, I'm writing a BuzzFeed article right now about how to get the most out of your purge.
Sure. Yeah.
And the thing of it is like it was 3 years ago.
Mhm.
I said, you know what? This year I'm doing a fun purge. You know what I mean? I'm going to do a fun purge. The purge doesn't have to be murder. So I went to the Bronx Zoo, and what I did was I
Don't
put
tell me
them.
you killed the animals.
No, I mixed them up. I put the ones that I thought would get along well into the same cage. So
Just like fun illegal stuff.
yeah, so
Non-murder.
you don't
That's
have
kind of illegal, right?
Yeah, yes, it's highly illegal. You can't break into the Bronx Zoo and just put all the monkeys together because you think that's more fun than separate monkeys.
Yeah.
But do that on the Purge. It does not have to be. Go take a dump in the Williamsburg swimming pool, stuff like that. Like,
Dude.
don't think murder is the only option. Yes, it's important. It's very important. But have a fun Purge every few years. Mix it up.
The Mezco factories in Long Island City. That was my first stop. I just went in. I saw security guards. I didn't want to, I just kept on going. My chainsaw wasn't oiled up anyway. Stole a bunch of figures, put them in a car, drove back, killed a bunch of people with a chainsaw, then went to that woman's house.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're trying to open things up at the Purge. And just, it's not just murder anymore. Mix animals, have a great time out there.
Well, Anthony, hot button issue. Since you represent the corporate Purge people here, I have a question for you. And it is said that the original idea of the Purge was to get people to have more fun, and murder wasn't an issue. It has been spoken that murder was introduced into the Purge to lower the population, and knowing that the rich would not be harmed, because as we know, the rich have the money to hire people, get into places, and it affects the poor. What do you have to say about that? Because murder rates have gone up during the Purge in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Are you guys pushing? Is this a way to control and kill the poor?
It's not. Not.
That's a hell of an answer. Goddamn corporate dodging. It's not.
It's not. That's certainly within our mindscape when we approach the New Year's I guess sort of direction for the Purge. So hopefully that answers your question.
No. No, not even close. This is the people's
lawyers.
What's gonna happen is the people are gonna revolt against the Purge, because the board, you guys dance and jiggle your way out of every serious question. And what I think is true is what Greg said. The Purge is simply to hold us down and support the elites. And you know what? I might be coming for you next year, Anthony. And you know how you'll know if I am?
How?
Well, another tip, and this will be in my BuzzFeed article. It's good. It's fun during the Purge to have a trademark. And I've always loved the show The Wire. And Omar, if you heard Omar's whistle, it meant you were in trouble. Now, I can't whistle that good. So when I go out purging, I always bring my trusty old
kazoo.
You hear that noise? You got a world of pain coming, Anthony. So watch out for that joyful kazoo music.
The podcast is going to be weird if you kill Anthony. I'm gonna say that. I mean, I'm not going to be against it. It's your government given right.
Sure.
But we'll have to find someone. Well, here's the thing: if you go after Anthony, I got to be honest. The guys that it could end up you could both be dead, and then the Rad Dude cast, or just you could. I got to do it by myself. I got to do it, Mike Cuccinelli.
Let me make this crystal clear. I do not want to go after Anthony. I demand Anthony, as one of the people, as one of us, resign from the board of the Purge. That's what I demand. I don't want to come after my best friend. That's ridiculous. But I can see already how this has changed you. You're dodging questions. You refuse to give us the straight answer. We're being used as instruments, as tools of the bureaucracy.
Well, why don't you join me?
All right.
Hey, there's a whole voting process.
You just get on like that?
Well, I mean, look, I'm climbing pretty steadily through the ranks of the corporate office, and I gotta say, we could use two guys like you over in corporate. We're talking great benefits, full salary.
I can't because I'm looking to cheat on the purge, and I don't want to give up 6 hours of my purge night filling out paperwork and voting. I want to be fucking people.
No, remember, Anthony was fully able to participate. Purge board members are allowed to participate.
Are there any perks? Do you get any benefits or perks with like?
I mean, man, let's just call Samsonite and Allentown a perk.
Oh, you're not paying for them? That's my tax money?
I mean, technically, I am paying for them since I work for the Purge. And by proxy, the Purge hires Samsonite and Allentown. So, yes, I am paying for them in the sense of my time and energy. But if you're talking about monetary amounts,
bullshit. I'm paying for them with my tax money.
But what I'm saying, why not have your tax dollars work for you instead of for me? I'm saying join me.
I already said I'll do it.
Well, I mean, Greg, two to one here.
There are a lot of ideas. I have a lot of ideas for the purge, like aerial stuff. I think that we can be doing. I think you can do a purge where you just put it in a plane and everybody on the plane, like a purge cruise line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's not just this day of the year. We do a purge cruise line. Mini purges.
I'm hearing great ideas from the both of you. I mean, look, I'm in these boardroom. I'm in these meetings twice a week. I don't hear anything like this.
Yeah. Old shills were just like kill black people.
Yeah.
We're
trying to get away from that.
How about
the
this?
Old guard.
Let me float this. What? Maybe December 13th, 14th, a little couple weeks out from Christmas.
Sure.
A stealing purge.
I love it.
12 hours. All stealing goes.
Just
12 hours.
I love it.
No murder, just stealing?
Yeah.
Let me one up you. How about a purge, we'll say February 13th, where you can return anything? Who cares about receipts? If you bought it at any time, it's a purge, but you're allowed to you got a regret about something you bought. February 13th or 14th, you can return it.
Any condition. Any condition.
It has to be taken back by the store.
This is now. Are you guys? We have this. This is being recorded for the podcast, so this is great. I was going to say you need to document these ideas and send them to me. But this is great.
Quick question, guys. This is going to be a Mike Machinelli question as well. Should we keep going and then lead into the $5, or should we stop? Because we're about at an hour, but I feel like we may have hit on some stuff. Do you guys have time or no?
I'm okay.
You want to just keep going and then we'll just push this into the Patreon?
Yeah, but let's close this one out just with a couple of reminders, guys. If you like this, and we're gonna move this right into the Patreon, this Purge Talk. So check out patreon.com/RadDudecast. We do 3 bonus episodes a week, for God's sake. Literally no other podcast does that. It's crazy. In fact, it's too much work. We hate it. But nobody else does that.
Right now, Brendan.
Except Howard Stern, who does 3 hours a day every day.
Yeah.
He's got writers.
He makes millions of dollars.
Yeah, we're literally
of course he would.
Professional radio men now.
Yeah.
So go to patreon.com/RadDudecast. Even if you don't want to listen to 3 bonus episodes, give us some money because we're doing it. So, we're going to, okay, Greg, go ahead.
And on the Patreon episode, we're going to lead right in with more Purge stuff. We're going to be talking about old purges we've done. And whatever else. I don't know. I think I have more ideas, but we'll just to give you a taste. Anyway, back to the corporate stuff. I don't know what he's eating all of a sudden. He takes that Patreon break to start eating pasta.
Mike, should we do some sort of
on my rose gold MacBook Air 13-inch?
Mike, should we do some sort of? Oh yeah, and also please follow us at the Rad Dudecast on all platforms. And Mike, should we do some sort of like hard break? How do you want us to do this?
Oh, one more thing before we do the break. I did find out it's Hell because Matt Moves Mountains made a meme about Helena's name. It's Hell is in Fire. He made a great meme. From the Fonzie and So Helena.
Helena.
Matt Moves Mountains is the best. Anyway, I wanted to just shout those guys out. Anyway, so what did Mike say? Yeah, he said yes to whatever your question was.
So we take a hard break. So that's the end of this episode.
Break.
The Rad Dudecast is hosted by Anthony DeVito, Brendan Eyre, and Greg Stone. Original music by Brian Zippert. Produced by Mike Suarez. Executive producers Brendan Eyre, Greg Stone, and Anthony DeVito. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcasts.